Whether you're looking to experience 3D audio on your PlayStation 5 or you're looking to experience Dolby Atmos on your Xbox Series X or S, let's just say that Victrix has you covered with their new Victrix Gambit Headset for Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5. Let's go ahead and get into it.
This wasn't written with your comfort in mind. Nah. Made my decision, wasn't tough to decide. Nah. Me and my boys, we get it done every time. Gotta earn it, you can't just jump in the line. You'll get rushed to the side. I top my division, I've been building since I started. In the parking lot, I parked it. I came in while picking targets. My career cannot be tarnished. I'm a champion regardless. Celebrate, but this a different kind of lucha party. We are not alike.
Before we kick this video off, I want to give a huge shout out to Victrix for sending over the Victrix Gambit headsets, both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S versions. You know, there is some differences between them, and we'll go over that in the review. But again, thank them for sending this over to me because this has just been an absolute joy to review, and I took my time with it. You guys know I don't try to rush my reviews, and I try to do thorough testings. Like, I want to know how these actually sound when I'm in a match online, and I also want to know how good is the mic because, you know, let's just be honest. When it comes to headset microphones, you know, they're not always the greatest. And, you know, you just want to know, does it get the job done? Or is it going to be something that's going to have multi-usages? Are you going to be able to use this for Zoom calls or, you know, a podcast or something like that outside of just gaming? Or is this going to be strictly just for, you know, when you're getting your matches in? So we're going to dive into all of that and more in this review. And if you want to pick up either the PlayStation 5 version or the Xbox Series X version, I have links for both of those in the description below so you can go and get them. So if you're new and you haven't already, make sure you sub to the channel and ding the notification bell. That way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes from this channel. Also, if you want to support what we do have Patreon as well as channel memberships with links for those in the description below. All that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the Victrix Gambit headset. I'm going to be reviewing both for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, so, you know, just know that although they may look somewhat similar, there are some key differences between the two, so we'll get into all that in the review. Off the top, one of the things I want to say about this headset that is really, really cool is the fact that it's very, very comfortable. It's lightweight. And also, if you're familiar with the PDP level 40 and level 50 headset, you will see a lot of similarities between that and this. Because, you know, they're essentially, you know, PDP and Victrix are, you know, one and the same company. Victrix is an offshoot of PDP, so there are going to be similarities in a lot of their product line. And compared to the other headphones that I've reviewed in the past from Victrix, I won't say that these are, you know, better or worse to them. I think Victrix, when it comes to like their audio, just in general, is just good no matter what, you know. And if you pair this with the Team Amp, or if you pair the Victrix Gambit controller, either way, you're going to be getting some of the best audio that you can out of your system. Now, I know that, you know, there are various headsets out there, you know, ones that claim to, if you're on the PlayStation side, give you 3D audio, or the Spectral 3D audio that, you know, gives you that deeper immersion. And also on the Xbox side, you have ones that say that they can give you the Dolby Atmos and give you the best and clearest sound. Now, for the price of these for both platforms, you get all of that and more. Not only can you use these wirelessly on both platforms, but you can also utilize them for wired connections. So if you're doing a lot of editing, like I do a lot of video editing and post-production work, then this allows you to hear just about everything you need. And it's the closest I can get to my studio level referencing headphones. My V-Moda LP2s, which I've had these for so long, they're wearing out, but, you know, as far as sound quality, it's very, very up there. And it's very important for people to understand. Like, if you're looking at the Victrix Gambit headset, you're also looking at the PDP wireless or PDP wired, you know, level 40 or level 50 headset. Even though the shape might be the same, the overall quality of the headset is very, very different. You know, this is more for the esports and the high-end audiophile, whereas that one's just, you know, a general overall wired and wireless use case type of headset. Now, with this, the band is very, very flexible. I can do a lot. I mean, it's not going to be as flexible as some headsets where you can just like bend in all kinds of crazy ways. But realistically speaking, why would you want to do that? You know, I'm not someone who would ever want to do that with my headsets, but I understand some people want to know what's the flex and give of the bands. Another thing too is I want to talk about the leatherette, the cushioning. Now, you guys know I don't like leatherette when it comes to, earphone cushions because one, I'm in Hawaii, it gets really hot here. Plus, my air conditioner is not working. And then over time, the sweat will cause the leatherette to start cracking, which is something that's very, very annoying. I don't really like having to deal with that when it comes to my headset. So I do prefer a breathable mesh material, which is something that is on the level 40 and level 50. I'm not really sure why it's not on this one. Maybe, they are comfortable. I'd say this, putting them on is a very, very comfortable pair of cans, but still, I would have preferred to have a breathable mesh as opposed to a leatherette. Now, outside of that, you may be wondering, what is the clamping force? Most headsets have kind of a clamping feature where, you can get fatigue or exhaustion from wearing them for too long. And I will say with these, I don't really get that feeling whatsoever. I can have these on for hours upon hours. I do a lot of recording and streaming. So when I'm using these, I don't ever really feel like, I'm getting tired of it or I'm, getting the head fatigue or it's just weighing and bogging down on my head. It does have a little bit of pressure, but it's more so just to secure it in place so I can shake my head, do all that stuff, and it's not really going to be coming off at all. I like the microphone, in the sense of how the boom arm is and the flexibility of it. It's very, it's a very durable and flexible material here. I will say when it comes to the audio that comes out of it, and I'm going to be giving you guys an audio sample of what it sounds like. It's not the absolute best. It's not the worst I've heard, but it's not the best either. There are better mics on headsets, out there with other brands, and even with, Victrix's own. If we were to compare it to some of the earlier Victrix headsets that I've reviewed, then you would see that it's better off in those in comparison to this, but they're hitting two different demographics, so just keep that in mind.
All right, so I want to do a mic test. That way you have an idea what it sounds like when it's being used wirelessly or if it's connected to the Gambit controller, which is for the Xbox Series X as well as Xbox One. This is what's going to be sounding like. I do have a curated room, so you're not going to hear really anything that's going on in here. And it does have it's recording my voice in kind of like a nasally tone. Let's just be honest, gaming headsets don't always have the best quality, but when you're playing online with some friends or you're playing and streaming, I think this is going to be completely serviceable. Are there gaming headsets with better audio? Yes. But I think for what this is, it does actually pretty well. And let's do a test. Let's test and see what the plosives sound like if you're going, because a lot of people, plosives can be a make it or break it when it comes to using headset microphones or using microphones in general. So this is what it sounds like. Peter picked the pickle, popping, prancing, playfully. Yeah, I got nothing else. This is what it sounds like. That's all I gotta say for this. You let me know what you think down below.
But overall, the quality, being able to, it's the flip to mute. So you can flip up to mute the mic, flip down to turn it on. And there's also a button on the headset where you can also mute the mic. And also, if you want to use this in wireless mode or wired either or, you do have a USB, it's a micro USB, which is interesting because I would have thought by now we would have just moved everything over to USB Type-C, but this is still using the older micro USB port, which, it's not terrible, but it's also not that great. I'm kind of let's move on already. It does have a 3.5 millimeter input jack for utilizing it for wire connections with an inline controller, as well as mute functionality built into the inline controller. And you do have your mode selection here on the left cup of the PlayStation version as well as the Xbox version as well, where you can just cycle through your different modes as well as your power button to turn it on and be able to get juices going. I will say it doesn't take very long to get a full charge. I can fully charge these within 45 minutes to an hour, and then the battery life that I've got from my own testing has lasted anywhere from, roughly anywhere from 7 to 10 hours straight usages. Then you've also got the volume wheel here on the right cup, which allows you to control your volume. And it's just, it's super easy to figure out. It's not too much to this. I like how simple this is. I do kind of wish it has some illumination on the cups itself. it's just something that, I'm just so used to. Like a purple illumination would have been nice. Did you get the purple illumination when you power it on here? But you don't get anything else outside of that. I kind of also wish it had Bluetooth built into it. I know it would have jacked up the price, but having Bluetooth capability built into this so I can, pair it with my Nintendo Switch or, my phone or something like that would have been really neat. But I guess as it is, just using a 3.5 millimeter input to connect to my Switch or my phone, that does the job for now. But outside of that, yeah, comfort-wise, these are very comfortable. They do have the pleatherette cushion on the top for the headrest, so, someone like me who's bald, it's very, very comfortable. I don't have to feel like it's digging into the dome of my head. Even if I had hair, I'd be fine. It's just very comfortable. Fully readjustable. You can go all the way down to the smallest size, or you can bring it out for a larger feel. It's good for, I would say, like medium-sized heads to even larger heads. I think if you have a smaller head, I would just try and keep it at the smallest setting. But I don't know. For kids, I don't know if this would be ideal for children, but from teenagers to adults, I would say this is perfectly fine. So we talked about a lot of the good of this headset. So what are some things that I don't like? And I've already mentioned one, which is the leatherette. I don't really like leatherette. I hate how they wear out over time. I would have preferred a breathable mesh. And I'm just gonna hammer down on that. So Victrix, if you're watching, if you make a version with like a breathable mesh, it would be a lot better, especially for those of us in warmer climates like me. I'm out here in Hawaii. Or if they were to be removable and I can just interchange it with a breathable mesh, I would be very, very happy with that. I also kind of wish that it had, Bluetooth functionality. I already mentioned that, but I think Bluetooth functionality would have been really neat to have, and just giving it a lot more versatility. I also wish the headset part would just like swivel so I could just, easily more, just place it on my, the nape of my neck area versus just having it like this. I mean, this is fine. It doesn't really bother me. I'm used to it with, my studio reference cans, but still I would like to have that kind of functionality with my headsets, when possible. Other thing is I kind of wish that the microphone on this was better. I mean, it's not terrible, but, when you look at like headsets like the Logitech series, the G Pro headsets that have the Blue Voice built into them, so they have that really rich and crisp audio sound. It kind of makes me wonder, why does this not have that also? Like this should have that. I really wish it did have that capability. And I also kind of wish that the microphone would be removable so I could have just a headset by itself and a low profile. I could just, go about my day, having these on, if I'm cleaning or if I'm just working out and I'm using these, even though, I kind of don't want to sweat in these because of the pleatherette, but you know what I mean? Just using these and they have a low profile look versus having this boom arm that's always there and you can't take it off. And it gives that whole, gamer aesthetic. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but then there are certain situations where you wouldn't necessarily want that. I mean, it is, as it is, it's very low profile. I mean, I can see someone using this in a work environment, but still, I would like to be able to remove this. And I think the only other thing that I can think of is I kind of wish, if they do a revision 2 of this, that to incorporate a USB Type-C as opposed to micro USB, because micro USB is just, it's going the way of the dinosaurs. I don't know why we're still using that as a standard in most headsets. But that's just about everything I can think of as far as what I don't like or what could be improved. And that's it. That's the review for the Victrix Gambit headset, both for the PlayStation 5 as well as for the Xbox Series X. What do you guys think about it? Do you have a pair of these already? Are you looking to pick these up? What platform would you use them on? Or are you going to get one for both, for each one individually? Whatever your thoughts are, let's go ahead and get the conversation going in the comment section below. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Victrix for providing these headsets. And I know it took a while for me to get this video out, but I really wanted to take my time to be able to give the best and most comprehensive review that I possibly could. And I feel like I've been able to do that over time. I don't have a huge team. It's just me, myself, and I. Like if I had a 10, 20, or 30-man team, I probably could be banging out videos like that. But I have to do everything on my own. I do my own shooting, my own editing, my own B-roll footage and everything like that, and it takes time. So just keep that in mind if you're wondering, like, oh, how come he's not pumping out videos like that? I try. I do my best. But all that being said, if you want to pick up these, I will have links in the description below for both platforms. And if you want to support what we do, we got merch over on Teespring and TeePublic, as well as Patreon and channel memberships if you really want to support what we do and you like the content we put out. All that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Deuces wild, too sweet, be the elite. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Mahalo for making it to the end of the video. And if you found anything of importance or substance that you gained from watching this, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, make sure you sub to the channel and ding the notification bell. That way you stay up to date on all the content that you get from my channel, from podcasts, streams, reviews, impressions, reactions, and so much more. If you want to support what we do have channel memberships, we've got Patreon, we've got Subscribe Star, as well as coffee, which I would love to be drinking some coffee right now, which I am. That's some good coffee. But anyway, we got all of that, and we also have merch on Teespring and TeePublic, so make sure you go check that out. And all that being said, I just hope to see you in the next video that I put out. So hey, see you around.